All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Akim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Shamar coming back with another lesson. And in this lesson, I want to speak on, the current situation going on with these other nations basically not dealing in the U.S. dollar anymore, because that's another, hit towards the American economy, so to speak. Because if they're not dealing in the dollar, then that's worse. That's bad news for America, the U.S. dollar. And these other countries are getting closer together, seeing that they have a common enemy. Mainly speaking on Russia, China, and Brazil, because that's who's been in the news lately, getting closer ties, dealing with each other economically, and ultimately they're going to come together as well and go to war against Babylon, aka America. All right, and you're seeing this play out. All right, the scriptures is being made manifest as far as leading up to World War III. These are just the minor steps leading to that ultimate end goal, man. That basically World War III happening. And I've seen other people mentioning that on social media, talking about that basically World War III is going to break out any moment. And they're right. We're living in a time where war could break out at any moment. We already in pretty much a Cold War, where they doing sanctions against each other, doing this and that, trying to do things to mess with the other countries without necessarily sending troops out there or shooting off missiles yet. But we're already basically on the doorsteps of World War III. And you're seeing that with these different moves that these other nations are making. All right. So the first scripture I want to get is Jeremiah 51:7. It says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. Yeah, and all the earth had drunken the wine of Babylon, man. These other nations, they followed the ways of America, man. All right, their monetary system, how they set up their society, pretty much everything was fashioned after the way that America had established things. How America run things, basically. You look at all these other countries, they have a lot of similarities with Babylon, with how they operate and all. And then them seeing that, so them following the ways of Babylon, they seeing ultimately it ain't working out. Especially doing business or with them, because now look at Esau, how he doing to other nations, man. They're trying to make it, you're gonna do sanctions, you gotta deal in the US dollar to trade oil, this and that, you gotta deal in our currency. The dollar is supposed to be the head, like above all the other currencies, basically, where you have to use that to trade. But now these other nations, they basically saying, for F the dollar, and they going around that and dealing with each other, making each other stronger, and as well as getting stronger with their military as well, because they see that they have a common enemy. So you think that America, think that they doing stuff by putting these sanctions on these other nations and whatnot. All you're doing is pushing them closer to each other, really, and you're seeing that actually go on, man. Because how long have we heard about different things regarding the BRICS? Well, now you're seeing more and more of why that that acronym exists in the first place, because those exact nations are getting closer to each other. Those countries are getting closer to each other, man, dealing more with each other monetarily wise, as well as helping each other build up with their military and all. All right, continuing on, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. And we're seeing Babylon fall, man. And it's soon to be destroyed, man. When World War III takes place, it's going to be ultimately destroyed. This whole landmass of America is going to be destroyed, man. All these other nations are going to shoot those missiles off, all right, and they're going to wipe this place out ultimately. They all have a common enemy, and they all mad at America. You see all this different stuff that Biden's been doing, and just America been doing as a whole throughout the whole existence of America. It doesn't matter who's president. All right, something that's always going on, and things just have been like escalating at warp speed, so to speak, ever since Biden has been in office. Now we're literally on the edge of war breaking out, and you're seeing these different nations or in these different countries, all right, position themselves, getting ready for that, man. All right, getting used to not dealing with America, cutting America out, cutting ties with America fully, you know, finding ways to make their economy stronger without having to deal with America, basically, because they don't need you. They got other countries they could deal with, and they're just becoming closer now because, like I said earlier, they have a common enemy, which is America, man. All right, and you see how they're trying to heal Babylon, all right, as far as regarding their monetary system, pretty much bailing out the banks, pumping more money into the banks. When you had that one bank, Silicon Valley Bank, that was going to go under, then they came to the rescue, because if that went under, then it'd just be a domino effect, literally. All right, and they can only keep kicking the can down the road so long before the economic collapse hit. All right, because this monetary system is done, and it's so much money's been pumped into the system, there's no saving it. All right, they're gonna have to scrap it at some point, and that's when they're gonna start that brand new system on a you know, just like they did when they got rid of the gold and silver standard. They started a brand new system, and this new system is going to be that MOTB. All right, all on one global system, all on what? The blockchain. All right, and the way that you use it is by something being inserted inside of you to buy and sell, like the scriptures speak about in Revelation. All right. The other scripture I want to get is in Joel. Well, I want to show this real quick, these different articles, but you see Brazil and China strikes a trade deal agreement to ditch the US dollar. And Russia as well is dealing with China. And like I said, all these nations, or these countries, I mean, they're getting closer together, and it's the BRICS, you know. They're getting closer together to stop dealing with America, man. And this is just showing you that we're that much closer to the end. The more and more that these nations and countries cut out America, what you think is going to happen to America, man? All right, this place is done. All right. Now this is Joel 3:10. It says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears." And that's what you see going on, man. All right, these other countries, they're not worried about building up their agriculture system, you know, as far as you know, farming and other stuff like that. No, man, they're mainly worried about building up their military system, because those pruning hooks and those plowshares and stuff for what? Agriculture, farming and stuff. And they're not putting money into that. They're not putting their time and energy into that. Where are they putting their time and energy into, man? Building up their military force and their weapons to be ready to go to war, because they understand, especially Russia and China, they understand that it's only a matter of time before war breaks out. And that's why you see in these different countries getting closer and closer together, because they understand they have a common enemy. All right, and they're not weak like they were at one point. All right, and like it says, let the weak say I am strong. And that's what you say, that's what you see going on now, man. All right, at one point these other nations were scared of America because they didn't have that capability as far as the technology and with the military weapons and things like that. But now they have that capability, and really they're surpassing the shit that's out here in America. All right, America is lagging. The military's weak. They let out here, they got just threw people in the military, all drugged up, out of shape. And then you letting things in there as well, you know, Transformers. So what type of military is that? You think that's going to be a solid military ready to go to war? And they letting women in there. That ain't no solid military. They gonna lose the battle. All right, but these other countries, they ain't got no women in there. They're like they got men in there. All right, and they trained on a way higher level than out here in Babylon. They ready to go to war. And they letting their people of their country know as well, just like in Russia, they letting their people know, hey, war can happen at any moment, pretty much, man. But what they got going on out here in Babylon, they ain't telling you nothing. All right, they just letting you be through, all right, destroying yourself. And by the time they tell you that it's time to go to war, the draft is going to be there. They telling you that you ain't got an option. And they going to just take anybody they can get at that point, forcing people to go. But continuing on in verse 11, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. And that's what you see slowly happening, man. These heathen nations, all right, they're slowly getting themselves together, ready to go to war, man. It's not a coincidence that now, you know, out of all times, all right, like, you know, I'm gonna grab it real quick in Habakkuk and come back to this. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. And this was for an appointed time, man. Why do you think now all of a sudden this is going on? All right, as far as these other countries and getting ready to go to war against America, man. All right, it's an appointed time set for it to go down, and now we're in that time. All right, we're in the time of America going down and being destroyed, and you're seeing that literally take place, man. It ain't no building back better, no saving America, no making peace. All right, all that's out the window, man. These nations ain't trying to deal with America no more. They done with America, and they ready to destroy it. So you're seeing them just building themselves up, getting ready, man. And it, like I said, it's an appointed time for it to happen, and now we're in that time, because we're in the time of America being destroyed, man. We're at the end, we're just in the last prophecies, waiting on those to happen, man. All right, them pushing the MOTB and World War III, basically. All right, and we're seeing the stage being set for both of those things to happen. That's the times that we're living in, man. All right. It's back in Joel 3. I'm going to start at verse 11 again. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. All right, and that's where ultimately the war going to go down, man. All right, out there in the Middle East, man. And they ain't never stopped they ain't never stopped being out there ever since it, you know, they went out there. Hey, things are only getting more intense, man. Because like I said, the BRICS, all these nations, they're going to join together. Even you know, Europe and them, they gonna turn on America, because they only catching more hell by trying to deal with you. And they're going to realize that, and they're going to cut ties with you, just like all these other nations are cutting ties with America now. They're going to see how these other countries are way better off once they start cutting ties with America, getting rid of that trash dollar, all right? And they start dealing with each other's currency, building each other's economy up, building each other's, you know, military up and whatnot, trading. They're going to see how much better off they are without dealing with America, and these other nations and countries going to follow suit, man. And ultimately, they're going to realize they got one common enemy, one common oppressor, and that's Babylon. And they're going to be shooting their missiles off over here, man, when World War III breaks out. And that's coming sooner than later, man. All right. And I'm going to wrap up on this scripture, because, like I said, it's coming sooner than later. All right. And this is Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that's what you see going on, man. All right, like I read in Habakkuk, everything is set for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. All right, and you're seeing the prophecy speaking, man. Like I said, the last two major things we waiting on is what? You know, the mark being mandated. All right, the MOTB, to where you have to use it to buy and sell, and it's it's being implanted inside you. All right, as well as World War III, because that's gonna be that lake of fire that destroys America, man. That wipes America off the face of the earth. All right, and it's coming quickly. It's not tarrying. All right, it's not gonna be hella far in the future. No, this shit is coming soon, man. And you're seeing it. Basically, the stage being set, like I keep saying, man. You look at what's going on. All right, that's not a minor thing. By having the different nations saying they putting away the U.S. dollar, that's a very major thing, man. That's a war move in itself, even though it's not truthfully on the ground. That's why you have to stand upon your watch, man. Like it says at the top, Habakkuk the 2nd chapter, man, because it's a lot going on. A lot of things are happening that's not really being mentioned on mainstream media. All right, a lot more things are going on, globally. These different countries making moves, man. Hey, so this place is out of here, and World War III is coming soon. Hey, these last prophecies is coming soon, man. And like the apostle deemed this year, Lord's will, this be the year that all the prophecies be fulfilled, man. Because you see the stage being set. If you pay attention to what's going on, all right, everything's being lined up perfectly to following suit with the prophecies, man. All right, the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Hey, so with that, I'm going to wrap up and give all praises again to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Ruach Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the Agim out there preaching his word in truth and sincerity. Shalom.